Another game in which he can emphasize that trust that Coach Riley has given him. We'll see if he can get that important first clean sheet tonight.
UNC will begin to control, push forward, an opportunity that sneaks into the back line for the Irish. Genenbacher tracks down to push forward. Irish coming off a tough defeat on Tuesday to Michigan. It was a 1-0 loss. Really, the Irish played some of their best soccer of the year, winning the battle in shots 16-10, winning the shots on goal battle 8-3. They just couldn't find it into the nylon.
That's right, Jake. They had a lot of attack in place, to be honest, on Tuesday. We saw a lot of moves as well from this man on screen right now, Jack Flanagan. Great play of Flanagan throughout the entire 45 minutes of the second half. In the first half, he also had some shots. Nevertheless, the Irish struggled to take the win, and they ended up losing against Michigan.
UNC was able to put up 3 goals in their midweek against Charleston. Really dominating performance. Irish backline already being tested here early against this very mature North Carolina attack.
It's a team that, as Coach Riley mentioned to us before the game, North Carolina, is a team similar to the one the Irish played last year. So we'll see how much of that impact the Irish want to move now towards this game. Because last year they were able to get a draw at North Carolina, trying to get at least a draw here. But in reality, what they want is the win.
Yeah, it was a 1-1 draw. Really positioned the Fighting Irish to be in contention to control the ACC for last to next year. Already a quick throw in from the Fighting Irish to try and push with pace. Irish making a push forward. Now we'll switch sides of the field to bring it near side with Genenbacher. Shaw, who gets a start today in replace of Spicer, has an opportunity that Carlos Samoano is going to want to watch out for on the near side attack. He has been so consistent in his 14 years.
As you mentioned, 14 years. He was a rookie when he won the title in 2011 with the Tar Heels. He's trying to do that again this season. Only 1 loss for the Tar Heels this season. Just shows you how strong of a team he's been able to build, and he's trying to prove that again tonight here in another road game.
Great ball there from Hilly. That the Irish defense is able to hold off. Kelly will pause and allow his defense to set up. All passes to the middle in Bot 4, looking to get it to Rue, and it's kicked away.
Let's go,
Williams passes back to the defensive line that is so strong for North Carolina, that consistently finds ways to keep attackers, especially dominant ones, away from the goal and outside to the wings.
It's only 8 goals that North Carolina has conceded throughout 11 games this season. Just shows you the intensity that the backline plays with. They're a strong, solid backline overall, but also a lot of merit goes to their goalkeeper.
That's something that Coach Chad Riley talked to us earlier this week about, was how to being able to slip behind that strong defensive line.
Yeah, and it's a coach that, you know, has that emphasis of, as long as we keep on pushing, we'll eventually find the right opportunities. The Irish like to push a lot. They try to emphasize their style of play, even if it's a little predictable sometimes. They want to go and emphasize that style of play and know that eventually those opportunities will come and the goals will come with them.
So far have won the possession battle, but nothing really has broken free from midfield just yet. Throwing on the far side as Sebastian Green tried to work it by the duo of Tar Heels. Foul call from the whistle. And the Irish will have free kick in the attacking area and trying to push to the third here. Long ball is headed away. Now the Irish will have a corner kick. UNC 7-1-3. Their one loss coming to Clemson last week, really trying to get themselves back to winning soccer in the ACC, taking on Notre Dame today. As the corner kick comes, headed away, and the Irish will retain possession with Flanagan. Pass back to Ramsey. Irish trying to work the far side. Irish trying to make a turn, looking for a cross to Flanagan, just outside the box. Flanagan takes one step in, looking for a cross to Rue, who is standing there, headed away by UNC.
You could see there as well the great defensive support that the midfield was able to provide. All three midfielders getting back into the box to support that backline of four from North Carolina. And overall, just the Irish keep on creating opportunities in the first few minutes of the game.
Initial cross over to the senior Kyle Genenbacher, last year third team All-ACC member, with now Flanagan looking to cross midway, headed forward. Rue is there with the touch, trying to redirect it. And it will be a corner kick for the Irish.
As we mentioned before, Flanagan being so active this time around, switching it over to the right, where Green, who's the left back actually in this team, really likes to join the attack. Rue finds himself in the small box, inside the box, but he couldn't just find the right angle, and he gets a corner for his team.
Riley Thomas there in on coverage. Rue, the nation's leader in goals, looking to try and find that 12th goal. Our kick comes from Bot 4, still not out of danger yet, headed through, and what a save by Cordes.
Cordes just a great goalkeeper overall, a solid member of that back line from the Tar Heels. This corner at the end would have been called off for an offside, as we saw the referee point to his assistant man, giving the play a goal. But nevertheless, the Irish looking to get some attacking runs from the very few minutes of the game, trying to as well lead and just determine the style of play, the pace of the game, which is something really important when it comes to facing those big teams that are potentially with a great momentum, as the North Carolina team is.
Cordes has pitched 6 shutouts this year, tied for second most in the ACC. Really strong between the pipes, showing it right there early. Now UNC trying to sneak it in behind the Irish back line, and it will be rejected, thrown away. And Cordes had 2 saves against Charleston yesterday, and this is the most fascinating aspect of the game, I think, for myself, between Kelly, the freshman, along with the junior Cordes, who's trying to both find themselves in the ACC.
Yeah, Kelly's been able to find himself as the starting goalkeeper for the Irish from his first season as a freshman. He's obviously hasn't been able to keep that clean sheet, but he's just been so important. Coach Riley has emphasized so many times prior to the games the importance of him being like a veteran. Even if he's a freshman, he's one of the voices in that dressing room, and overall, he's had some great saves throughout the season.
Irish with room to run, snuck in behind for Rue. Cordes comes out, but the flag is waved before for an offsides call against the Irish.
That's what you get when you have Matthew Rue on the pitch. You get a little space, you can create potentially a dangerous attack. This time around, it was an offside position, but nevertheless, the goalkeeper, Cordes, very attentive, knowing what Ru is capable of making.
Cordes might not have a save yet, with the flags playing a factor so far in the Irish attack. But he has shown his dominance. There that tries to sneak behind the Irish back line. Johnson with the pass back. UNC very methodical in their pathing thus far. Haven't taken too many chances to break free.
They haven't really had those chances because Notre Dame team, it's been just not only attacking pretty well, but also possession really well. I think that's why we see Ian Shaw today on his 5th game started off the season. He's typically not a starter for the Irish. He's just started slightly on less than half of the game so far this season, but Coach Riley really wants to, you know, get an extra man in the middle to try and maintain that possession, to lead the style of play tonight, and also have that support in the midfield both offensively and defensively.
Bryce Bonneau goes down after the foul called against UNC. Bonneau, the lone captain for this Fighting Irish team. He's been playing great soccer, 7 assists on the year, first in the ACC, an assist per game at just over half.
And he had an offer actually in the summer, but he decided to come back. Coach Riley has touched a lot on that importance of him coming back to play, to finish his degree, you know, first students, then players, but also a leader within that dressing room.
Yeah, 75th overall in the 3rd round of the MLS Super Draft by the Nashville Soccer Club. As the flag flies once more, this time against UNC. Irish taking their time to get to their free kick. Genenbacher now electing to pass back. Bob Four with a touch. This ball that's corralled. Pass back by the Tar Heels. Johnson off to Acosta, the transfer from Rutgers. Thomas possesses the ball. Captain and graduate student from Atlanta, Georgia. Thomas with a striking ball. That'll get by. Ramsey comes in sliding. Great deflection, but a load up from the Tar Heels. It's still contentious. Great pass out from Williams. Looking to go to Johnson. And the Irish settle in. Johnson with a pass once more. That is broken up.
That was a great slide tackle from the Irish, a great tackle from Ramsey. There is contact with the hand. Yes, there is, but that hand is supported nevertheless when it comes to how his slide tackling. So that in football is never a penalty. Great call there by the referee.
JJ Lopez with all the knowledge here tonight.
Used to be a referee, Jake.
Hey, it proves beneficial in gigs like this. JJ Lopez, Jacob Irons, so happy to have you with us on this Friday evening. big matchup here in South Bend between UNC and Notre Dame. Tar Heels trying to set up their attack here with Williams. Interception by Rue, working the sideline and has it kicked out of bounds. The Irish sneaking in to their attacking third. And for Notre Dame, trying to really find themselves. There's been glimpses of that 2023 College Cup team, but then there's also been a couple of letdowns. One of them, that tie against Duquesne early in the year, where it just felt like the Irish can play better and get to their potential, what they've shown time and time again.
Yeah, the tie against Duquesne. You can also talk about the loss against Syracuse that wasn't at home when it comes to home losses as well. Last Tuesday against Michigan, but nevertheless is a team that also, faced Clemson here at home. They won against Clemson. They are in the top 8 of the ACC. They've been slowly improving, as you mentioned. They are still the runner-ups of last season's national title, and you can't just deny that they are going to be there at the end of the season. They're trying to find their best moment, and they've been growing for the past few weeks with 2 home games left. They're trying to get the best out of them.
Trying to find their best soccer and build up some momentum. For the Irish, they understand the NCAA tournament berth is not far out of their reach. They come in to today's contest 44th in RPI. The common denominator is if you are around that 40 mark, you feel confident. If you can pick up a win in the ACC, especially with how strong the conference is, you're able to go and grab spots even if you're losing to top competition.
And even if they're 44 right now, they're facing number 7, so a win tonight would just lift their RPI so much.
On a new attack for the Irish that is stifled, that Ramsey attempts to keep alive. All plays back for it. Freshman who earned the start today in place of Spicer. Cordes now will switch sides of the field. Green steps up and deflects it off his body for a throw-in. Oh, Farrell, a junior, throws in. Foul called against Flanagan. UNC trying to move fast. Gets whistled back to the spot. Free kick here to come for UNC. The 14th meeting between these two schools. It's been primarily North Carolina. They have the advantage, 7-3-3 on their record. And they've been dominant in South Bend, 3-1-2. An opportunity here that goes wide beyond the goal. Kelly will set up for a goal kick.
As you mentioned, North Carolina is dominant in the series. The Irish are looking for their first win against UNC since 2020. Nevertheless, that win was an important one for the Irish. They won in North Carolina. They won in the ACC quarterfinals. So, it was a great win for them. Why not repeat it again 4 years later today?
Kelly back to kick. Strong ball here from the Tar Heels, looking to extend to the far side of the field. Costa plays across for O'Farrell. Green steps up for bot 4 to challenge, and bot 4 loses it. And whistle will come for foul. 2 players involved.
Here's Wyatt Lewis, the one that comes to the floor from the Irish. And then the NC player takes the worst part of it. He seems to be getting buck up nevertheless, but it's going to be a great attacking play for North Carolina. The Irish are going to have to be attentive to a potentially aerial play on this free kick.
And Juan Cafaro, injured player. Argentina sports administration major. Fans getting into it here in South Bend. Well-attended crowd. Long ball that tries to squirt in, and Kelly's able to scoop it up.
Yes, I was telling you beforehand, you know, you gotta be careful in those setup plays. Kelly showing that concentration that it's needed in games like this. And here's the crowd, Jake.
They're gonna play a factor. And talking to Coach Chad Riley before the game, we asked if the crowd was gonna play a factor. He said sometimes it can be to our detriment when we go to a little bit of a quiet stadium. But for us to have a couple thousand fans in the stands gives the guys a little extra juice. And on a beautiful night here in South Bend, why not come out and watch some really high-level soccer in the ACC?
Crowd that's been an average per day than 961 total. Today, probably a little higher considering it's a football weekend here at Indiana. But nevertheless, a crowd that's just been supportive, whether it's a Tuesday game, whether it's a Friday game, whether it's a Saturday game. The soccer program has had some great growth over the past few years. I still remember how packed the stadium was over last year's semifinal. And they just want to, you know, take the crowd with them wherever they go in the knockout stages that are approaching them.
They loom with 3 more weeks left of ACC play. Kelly set for the goal kick. On ball that is challenged by Flanagan. UNC retains the throw in. Ramsey, the kick forward, that's a loose ball. Just too far out of the reach of Rue, who had an opening there. Just couldn't close in. Great touch on the far side. Pushed forward for the Tar Heels. Looking for a cross. And once more, Josh Ramsey goes to the turf and slide tackles it away.
He's been everywhere so far. Josh Ramsey, player that Coach Riley really trusts on. He played the 90 minutes in that win against Clemson. He also played them in the loss against Syracuse, the senior who was a starter in the 21 matches last season, playing 22 matches in total. So far, he's played 12 matches for the Irish with this one and has given an assist in the 2-1 victory against Clemson, actually.
Yeah, now with today's start, 73 career starts for the senior and Josh Ramsey. From the moment he got to campus, was playing the center back role in a starting position and being vocal, and really has matured throughout his years, and someone that Coach Chad Riley has talked about every time we see him, how important he is for his defense to be able to hold strong.
Yeah, and today also supporting Green on the left, because Green's the left back that likes to join the attack sometimes. But nevertheless, when you have Ramsey there, he can cover the center, he can cover your left side, he can cover your right side even, and he can also score some goals, because we've seen that throughout his career. So it's a team that, you know, it's greatly supported by his presence.
UNC passes it away. Ramsey, the native of Keller, Texas. Rue with a push forward. Now a slide tackle whistle incoming. Clock will stop and a card will come. A yellow card will be given to Matthew Acosta. And the 20th minute left here in this first half.
First yellow card of the season for Acosta. That was a rough tackle. He really got there late. Rue was asking immediately for the call. He's even talking with the referee about it potentially being another color, but I think the referee gets it right with the first yellow card of the match.
Acosta was all Big Ten second team a year ago for Rutgers. Transfers into UNC. And now a long ball. That gets away from Bafour and trickles into the corner. Vichian has been held quiet so far today. Hasn't really heard his name with the ball on his boot too much.
Because the Irish have been the ones leading the game so far, you know, so whether North Carolina finds some attacking opportunities, which they have been able to find, it's not that they haven't had any, they had to, you know, try to bring whatever comes their way, not necessarily what they want to impose on the pitch tonight. As I was mentioning before, I think that's important because of the extra midfielder that Notre Dame has in the court today, but nevertheless, it's a team that's been so solid all around that with a little time on the ball, they can generate lots of opportunities, and that's probably what we'll see as the game progresses.
Opportunity here for North Carolina off of Notre Dame's fourth foul so far in the contest. Free kick coming. And the first subs of the day will come for the Fighting Irish. Spicer steps on to the pitch, along with Jacob Bartlett, the freshman. Irish looking to bring in some fresh legs. Faro spins away from it. Williams looks to go back to the far corner. Missed touch that Green's able to collect on. Ball now to the near corner. Irish trying to escape. Once more Johnson challenging, trying to turn the corner, is able to. Bad pass that Rue is able to collapse onto. All brings it back. The Irish will try and set up to go back on the attack. UNC defense once more playing up. Stops it and recenters. Charlie Harper calling for it in the middle. Streaking ball goes out of bounds, and now a corner kick for UNC.
That's what I was mentioning before, you know, they'll eventually get those attacking opportunities this time around. The Irish were trying to build up and slowly get back into attack. Nevertheless, high pressure applied to them by the Tar Heels. They forced Bryce Benoit to kick the ball away to get it into the Tar Heel defense, and now they see themselves having a corner.
Ball into the box, that will bounce out of bounds. The attempt does not elicit an attack on goal. UNC will now sub Scafaro comes off to bring on Hansen, the freshman, who scored in the 87th minute against Charleston for the final goal to move it to a 3-0 victory for UNC.
Replacing number 10, Juan Cafaro, and number 11, Luke Hilly.
Short ball from Kelly. To now set up the Irish to try and pass behind. Oh, attempting to use his body. Deflects it to the wrong color jersey. Both teams only have one shot apiece so far, JJ. It's been a game that has been possession-based, trying to lead in to an attack. Both defenses, some of their best parts of their game have been holding true.
Yeah, both teams have been able to, try and battle through the midfield. It's a game where you got to be concentrated. That's probably the highlight and characteristic of both defenses so far. But nevertheless, it's important as the game goes on to see how much your backup defenses can also come to support you, because you got to make some changes. The physical fitness, the stamina comes into play, and that's where the depth of both squads also comes into play.
Spicer plays it forward, up to Genenbacher, and it's pushed away. And UNC now has an opportunity to run. Irish have numbers though. Ramsey separating himself. What a great defense once more by Josh Ramsey. Spicer to the near side. Passes off to Bartlett. Namath a miscue. Have it go out of bounds, and the Irish will take the opportunity to sub.
Substitutions for and disqualifying Irish. Number 14, Will Schrader. Number 23,
Stevie Dunphy comes in, and Dunphy, 2 Fridays ago, had the first goal against Clemson for his first career goal. Real hero against Clemson. Spinning move that is eaten up by Kelly. Ramsey plays it out. UNC looking to load an opportunity, but is stifled. So far through these first couple of minutes, it feels like whoever makes a mistake first is gonna ultimately walk away with the best opportunity.
Yeah, and we're starting to see, as I was gonna tell you, some changes coming in. Those changes trying to perhaps just keep the things as they are right now, with full of concentration in the midfield, possession disputing for both teams, because we're approaching the last 10 minutes of the first half, As we've seen across a few games for the Irish, this is a moment where they like to give their opponent the ball a little bit. They like to calm things down a little bit. Coach Riley has mentioned the importance of, trying to know every moment of the game, when you're attacking, when the wind is blowing in your favor, when you got to calm down a little bit, and you got to be concentrated. If you know that your opponent might have the ball a little more, that concentration comes in play. Schrader just came in, Stevie Dunphy for a potential counterattack like this one.
There's an attack trying to center. And UNC kicks it away. Bounces out of bounds. It's been a possession battle thus far. Deep into the corner. Irish looking to center. As it bounced out of bounds. Now, Notre Dame with another corner kick, their third of the evening.
This time around, it's going to be Ian Shaw, if I'm not mistaken, the one to take it, because KK before right now outside of the game. Nevertheless, the Irish have seen some important goals through corner kicks, and they're trying to get another one tonight.
Ian Shaw to take the corner for Notre Dame. Open kick to the back of the box. Dunphy is there, loose ball, kicked high and away. Gannenbacher controls it at his feet. Ramsey playing forward. Spicer. Pass forward. Dunphy. Flag flies once more. Third offsides for Notre Dame.
And yet another opportunity from the freshman, from Stevie Dunphy. See, you talked when he came into the pitch, the goal scorer against Clemson. Such an important figure that the freshmen have been throughout the season for the Irish. Stevie Dunphy, another one of those.
Irish had the third best incoming freshman class according to Top Drawer Soccer, and they haven't made an impact as soon as they got to campus. Seen it with Dunphy, seen it with a large contributors in Ian Shaw, who starts tonight. This is a freshman class that came ready and prepared for collegiate soccer.
Yeah, not only in attack, but also Blake Kelly. He had some big shoes to fill. He's been doing that exactly as the starting goalkeeper so far for the Irish this season.
Dunphy looking for an opportunity here. That is broken up. And Williams make the crossing pass. Just too far out of the reach. A little bit of a running gun from UNC. Trying to use the long ball to open up the back line a little bit.
That's what you got to do when you are unable to find the spaces. See where you can potentially break through and create the space yourself. Because the Irish, as I was mentioning before, like to calm things down in the last 10 minutes typically of the first half. So when you aren't playing against a team that's necessarily doing that high pressure, that's just comfortable sitting there, staying concentrated and true to their formation and to their game plan, you got to try and break those paces and generate them yourself.
Under 8 minutes left to go here in this first half between UNC and Notre Dame. Spicer plays it back. Long bouncing touch. Cortez will let roll out of bounds. Cortez, the Denver, Colorado native, transferred to UNC after the 2021 season from Portland and immediately started to get reps. Been a consistent contributor, and this year has started every game in goal for UNC. Shaw tried to sneak by the back line of UNC. UNC's maturity shows playing a round robin. That now finds Johnson looking for a streaking attack. Just a bad touch from Vitchian. Vitchian from Slovakia, player to watch, leading the team with 17 points, 8 goals, 1 assist on the year. It's been a focal point up front for this Tar Heels team. Hasn't said his name so much here in this first half. It's been UNC looking for opportunities. It's an opportunity here that is once again broken up. This time by the senior Genenbacher. Carolina. Try and move through. Great step up by Dunphy. Whistle will come after extended continuation of the play from a whistle from Lucas Feathers, our referee today. UNC looking for a far opportunity. Not once more. It's poked away. Throw in just outside the box here. UNC can set up. North Carolina team 7th in RPI, 3rd in the ACC standings currently. Last week suffered a loss to Clemson. A 3-2 loss in Clemson, South Carolina. Staying on the road here. Taking on a Fighting Irish team that has lost 2 straight. Looking to rebound. Had a national attention win against Clemson 2 Fridays ago. Since then have fallen both through 2 contests. It's not for the lack of trying. Coach Riley told us earlier this week, playing some really good soccer, it's just not the way it has worked out in the result column.
Yeah, they've been able to get some shots, some perhaps even I would say that they've been leading the attack in the last few games, even if they've been outnumbered when it comes to the score by their opponent, but nevertheless it's an Irish team that just keeps on pushing whenever it needs to.
A push here, Shaw trying to sneak behind. The Irish stay pressing with just under 3 minutes left to go in this first half. Looking to try and go into the locker room with lead and momentum. Genenbacher will come up for a throw-in. Bartlett with a turning kick in. That goes out of bounds.
We were talking before about this man, precisely Kyle Genenbacher. He scored goals himself from some corners, but just the power he also has in his arms to get every throw in into the box. He's just, generates every play that potentially could just be another simple throw in. He creates an attacking opportunity from those. And he's been so crucial for the Irish to keep on pushing in attack, as we were talking before. But also a guy that before the season was also seeing some action in the midfield. It's just a team with so many benevolent players.
Genenbacher has 2 goals on the day here with an assist. Teams trying to set up for an opportunity in these final minutes of the first half. UNC looking to bring Johnson forward. Spicer goes to the turf. The Tar Heels beginning to press. Great separation that Green is able to bring to the ball. UNC will play fast with 1 minute remaining in the first half. Crossing ball. That's headed away by Genenbacher, still not out of trouble. Williams loads up, what a deflection. Paul trying to cross in once more. Finally, UNC Tar Heel and Acosta gets up to the turf. Long throw in. And the first half will come to a close. Extremely back and forth, JJ.
Extremely back and forth with both teams leading the midfield for a few moments. Nevertheless, none of them able to find those clear shots, those clear attempts towards a first goal. But it's been an entertaining first half.
They have leaned on Matthew Rue to really be the conch shell in this attack. It's a question of, will he come into play here in this second half? And we're underway for the next 45 between UNC and Notre Dame. What adjustments would you have made if you are the UNC Tar Heels and Carlos Simoano? And it's an opportunity here that once again is kicked away.
I'm not a soccer coach, unfortunately. That's the only position that I'm missing when it comes to the game. Analyst, player, referee. But nevertheless, I do like to, see things. And I see a North Carolina team that's been able to solidly provide in the defense, provide in the midfield. I want to see perhaps more forwards coming into the game. More play coming in from both the left and the right, because they've been able to find that midfield, yes, but it's all been through the center. And it's very hard to break through when you have such a compact Irish team when you're just playing through the middle.
Inverse, what would you say if you're Chad Riley and Notre Dame?
Well, keep on pushing. The potential that Flanagan has. The potential that KK Baffour has. What your style of play is. You want to stay true to that style of play. And even if you're predictable, just keep on finding those opportunities, because they will eventually come.
UNC trying to press. Opening up here. Loose ball that once more is poked free. Irish have it taken away by Czech. Tar Heels look to try and defend an Irish throw-in from Bartlett. Rowe using his body. And now Baffour with speed. It's a scissor. Stays on his feet, brings forward, working through traffic. And the Irish will switch sides of the field. Ball that's crossed, intending for Baffour. That goes long. Once again, it's the crosses that haven't found themselves inside the box all that often.
Yeah, but it's a game that even if you don't find yourself inside the box, when it's been so much played in the midfield, you might get an opportunity to take an outside the box shot. And for doing that, you need some midfielders that know how to take those shots. That's what Coach Riley also has a slight advantage here when it comes to, having an extra midfielder this time around in this game.
Baffour tried sneak it between the legs. Bartlett to throw in. And another throw in after missed touch by Notre Dame. Farrell, business manager whose father, Reese, was a quarterback at Kentucky in the early 90s. Farrell once more will do the throw-in. Ramsey all over it. It's a loose ball. Acosta picks up who was provided a yellow card early in the first half. Still plays with here in the second. Long ball. Now it looks to load for UNC. Not out of trouble yet. Tar Heels brings it forward with Williams. Trying to work through traffic. And Kelly will call off Notre Dame. Kelly has one save on the contest thus far. Ball played long to about 4. Was playing the touch from UNC. Albano. To try and run up tempo. UNC looking for an opportunity. Switches sides of the field for Hilly. Hilly goes high across the crossbar. Ooh, it was that opportunity.
It's an Irish team that, as I was mentioning in the first half, likes to give, you know, some calm to the game when it comes to the early minutes of the late minutes, of the first half, but also in the early minutes of the second half. It's so common to see their opponents have the possession, see them concede a few goals throughout the season in this first few minutes. Nevertheless, today this one goes wide, and the Irish just want to get back into the group that they displayed on the first half.
Irish will now have a throw in on the far side of the field. Spicer looking to try get involved on the attack. Didn't start today for the Irish. It was Shaw who were in the start. Came in and has played a major role on trying to push the Notre Dame attack. Costa breaks through, and now the Tar Heels trying to sneak a pass by, but Kelly will come out of goal to recover.
You see Blake Kelly on screen, the goalkeeper of the Irish that, as you mentioned, just had his first few saves of the second half this time around. Goalkeeper that, even if, you know, Notre Dame lost against Michigan on Tuesday, he had an outstanding last-minute few saves on that game, and he's just, as I've said so much, so solid for the Irish.
Bartlett trying to play a ball to about 4, but is picked away. Now UNC can to try and turn a ball. Great job by Bonneau to step in. Williams has it taken away. Genenbacher now will have the throw in. By 4. His pocket picked. Once again, UNC trying to apply pressure. Farrell steps forward, trying to center and change sides of the field. Hilly works into the box, and by 4 steps forward, breaking it up. And Hilly goes to the ground in a great show of sportsmanship between Ramsey and Hilly.
And we talked on the first half the importance of, North Carolina's defenders joining with their midfielders to defend those attacking plays from the Irish. This time around, it's KK Bafour, a midfielder in Notre Dame, that actually joins his defense in covering that shot, getting that block, and avoiding what could have been another shot at Kelly's goal.
Great job by Bafour to get back to help out his defense. It's not been an overly physical game so far. UNC will now have a throw-in. Tar Heels coming in, averaging 2.09 goals per game. Irish defense has stifled them. They have had more opportunities here in the second, really pushing forward. The Irish have tried to get into their attacking third, or really have been missing that one pass forward.
They're trying to find that pass forward precisely towards Rue, the single lone striker today. We'll see if they can find it throughout the second half.
Here's the Irish attack that we were looking for. Long ball, that's deflected by Cortez. What a job by the goalie. Cortez gets a glove on it. And Notre Dame once more trying to loop it into the box. Spicer now. No, trying to give a one-touch back. Long ball forward. Rue trying to play it to himself. Stays with it. Spicer recovers, turning, and Cortez is there.
Great few minutes so far by the Irish, trying to find one through Flanagan, trying to find one afterwards through Spicer. Probably the greatest goal-scoring opportunity we've seen so far in the game. But overall, a great save by Cortez, and KK Bafour kept it in play, but the Irish couldn't find the back of the net.
Great ball by Jack Flanagan. KK Bafour just a step ahead. Now a whistle comes for UNC. Play quick, but whistle will come.
Those little falls that we talked about throughout the break, are also moments that in the second half are perhaps a little more important when your team gets them, because it allows you to calm down. So not only is this a great opportunity for North Carolina to calm down things a bit, even if they just lost possession, but the Irish were attacking them. You don't want an Irish tide to transform into those attacks. You want it to be an attack, and then again to that regaining concentration in the midfield, to seeing where the ball is going to be disputed, and trying to stop potentially attacking and goal scoring opportunities.
Notre Dame trying to sneak it by. UNC will have an opportunity. Harper went down to the ground that time. Charlie Harper, Melbourne, Australia native. Fluent in Japanese and holds citizenship in Australia, Japan, and England.
Quite a combination, but he's playing soccer here in the US. Just shows you how important student athletes are, and also the international bodies that both of these universities have. We saw it actually against Michigan from Notre Dame with this student-led Spanish broadcast.
And you can catch that replay on the ACC Network Extra with, oh, I don't know, JJ Lopez.
Was that me?
Yeah, it was you. You were on the call, huh? I like the self-promo there. Gotta give the self-promo. Can find that one. Great job by you.
Muchas gracias, amigo.
Did not take enough Spanish for that. Long ball that goes out of play. The throw-in from the Tar Heels. By 4. Plays back. Fighting Irish. Fighting for possession. And they lose it once more. No urgency so far in the beginnings of this second half. Is there a time code that you start to see some change as UNC tries to bring one in?
Well, it's about seeing the change, but also knowing how to reply to whatever your opponent is presenting. Because, you know, this UNC team knows better than anyone else that you got to stay focused the full 90 minutes. 2 goals from Clemson came in the last 5 in the last game, and they ended up switching the scoreboard and taking home the win, the Tigers. So you want to avoid a scenario like that one in this particular game. Again, another road game. And that's when you got to realize, you know, what your opponent is proposing and trying to, you know, set yourself up for success with whatever they're building up towards.
UNC hasn't tied in the ACC yet, along with Notre Dame. Paul here now. For check, played forward. Opportunity once more. And it'll come to the spot. The clock will stop. And VAR will take a look at it.
It seemed to me like there was a handball. We'll see in the replays. But if there is, it's going to be an important penalty for the Tar Heels.
Lucas Feathers, our referee, will go to the monitor. It looks like it might have caught a little bit of the undershoulder of Ramsey. It looks right there, JJ, like it catches it.
It might have catched it. If it's right below his shoulder, yeah, we need that zoom. If it's right below his shoulder, the referee won't call the penalty, but nevertheless, you also got to take into account if that hand is on a natural position. It seems to be slightly amplifying the volume of Ramsey's body in an unnatural position that's still not stuck to his body. In that case, it would be called a penalty. So we'll see what Lucas Feather determines, but nevertheless, everything is under play in this penalty right now.
This is a huge moment in the game. In the 29th minute left to go in this second half. Lucas Feathers getting all the looks, understanding how important this call could be. And really changing the reflection of the game. And it comes against Josh Ramsey, who's been played such sound defense.
Yeah, not only changing the reflection of the game, but changing the reflection of the match Josh Ramsey was having. We talked in our breaks throughout halftime. Josh Ramsey was definitely so far the man of the match. We'll see what Feathers decides, but nevertheless, this is just so dangerous. You can't have your arm in your area like that.
He's called in for a second opinion. And still not finding that angle he loves. Got a final in Stanford and SMU 2-2 tie between the Cardinal and the Mustangs.
A dread that makes whatever happens here even more important, because both teams could move up places in the ACC matchup as we see another look of that potential penalty review that we're having right now. Shot from Cafaro that hits Ramsey's arm, and the referee now has to determine whether that arm was in a natural position close enough to the body to not be amplifying the volume of Ramsey's body. And as you were mentioning, a second opinion from the referee on the pitch, because this is a video review, not a VAR review. It's worth noting.
As they will come away from the monitor here, and they'll call coaches over. Never a great sign for either side. And it won't be a penalty kick. Wow, what a call from Lucas Feathers. Penalty kick is wiped off, and Josh Ramsey is elated.
And he can breathe calmly again. We were mentioning, you know, whether that arm was stuck enough to his body, was it amplifying the volume of his body? Feather at the end determines that that's not enough to see a penalty. And not only does he determine that, but he sees enough evidence to overturn his initial call of a penalty. So this is a huge moment for the Irish, and a small win, even if the score is still 0-0.
Both teams took the opportunity to go to their bench, get some water. Now the Irish have come out pressing, playing with momentum. Passed forward. Rue looking for it. Bafour turns on it. Cortez. What a stop by the goalkeeper. Notre Dame will have a throw-in, but Andrew Cortez, what a play.
What a hand from Cortez. An outstanding shot from before. He couldn't really take a better shot right there, and that's just a miraculous hand by Cortez. Amazing save by the keeper to keep the score 0-0.
High throw-in. Bartlett collects. Bartlett loads up. Ramsey's back to keep it with the Fighting Irish in their attacking third, but Johnson takes it away, and UNC regains possession from Genenbacher. UNC now to the far side. Ferguson steps up to make the stop. Louisville strikes first, and they're up 1-0 against Clemson. And now Bafour will turn around and gives it back to Bartlett. Looking for a pass. Just couldn't be there. Whistle will come off the foul. The shove in the back. That sends Bafour to the ground from O'Farrell. Irish retain possession for the throw-in at Jacob Bartlett. His mom, Deanna, played basketball and softball, along with his father, Richard, playing football and track and field. At the collegiate ranks, and now Bafour loads up. Ball's on the ground. and they'll stop the clock. UNC's Riley Thomas, his captain, is in pain.
He was out of air after the shot from before. You were mentioning before the sporting heritage of the Bartlett family. Well, Lucas Bartlett, Jacob's brother, actually plays as a defender for DC United as well. So it just runs in the family.
Sometimes you just have those genes, JJ. You just have the genes. You're able to produce athlete after athlete, and that's what the Bartletts have been able to do. And Jacob Bartlett, so far in his freshman campaign, has shown his promise in the ACC and in the collegiate ranks.
That's when my parents, I think, wished in me with my brother being a tennis player, but I ended up outside calling the games, Jake.
Same story here. My sister plays collegiate softball, so I'm here. I have no athletic bone in my body.
They give emotion on the pitch, we give it outside the pitch. You know, both emotions are crucial to transmit the love of the game. That's the business and culture of sports TV.
Look at you. Bringing emotion to the airwaves as Notre Dame has a free ball. And they'll reset here from a whistle from Lucas Feathers to get this spotting right. Tug of the jersey. And the whistle comes quickly after. The aforementioned Bartlett is thrown to the ground. Quick touch. That's played forward for Notre Dame.
Let's go, Irish! Come on!
Fast opportunity developing. That's misplayed by the Tar Heels. But no now. With room to run. Passes off to Bafour. Now Bafour will hit the brakes. Bano gets it back up to him. Bafour with the cross, long ball, looking for a kick. Still not out of trouble. Rue's opening. A tamper that chips in. What a goal! Right place, right time for Matthew Rue. His 12th goal of the season.
Matthew Rue just finds the back of the net whenever the Irish need him the most. Play that started on the left with KK before trying to find Flanagan, gets a rebound, and just like you would expect from any hunter of a striker, Matthew Rue just chips it into the net. And there's going to be a review for a potential offside, but nevertheless, so far, the goal stands, and Rue, cheeky little chip, and into the back of the net it goes.
What a play by Matthew Rue. The nation's leader gets a crucial goal in a crucial moment, but the video review is underway. Did he sneak in behind that stingy back line? And it's quick from Lucas Feathers. And it will be a Fighting Irish goal. And Matthew Rue and the Fighting Irish have a 1-0 lead.
Such an important goal for the Irish that now find themselves leading number 7 North Carolina. Nevertheless, it's a goal that, you know, just shows what we had been seeing throughout the past few minutes of the game. The Irish finding their offensive rhythm, finding that offensive momentum, shifting the play from the midfield into North Carolina's final third, and it results with a goal from Rue.
Coach Chad Riley told us earlier this week, the past 2 losses have felt fluky. They've just had those deflection goals that have never went their way. Well, now Notre Dame has found a goal to go their way in a fluky manner but who cares at this point? It's Notre Dame in the 66th minute getting their first goal of the contest. UNC now begins to press a little bit to try and respond. Opportunity that sneaks by into the back line. Kicked away. Flanagan out to chase it. And the handball will be called.
And now we also get a 12th player, Jake, here at Alumni Stadium. The crowd, such an important factor, as we had talked in the first half that it could potentially be. Well, now the crowd needs to cheer on for an Irish team that's leading, adding more pressure to the Tar Heels, adding more pressure to an environment that's already, you know, with 23 minutes to go, a challenge for the Tar Heels overall.
For Notre Dame, in 41 consecutive matches when they have scored first, they have not lost. That dates back to 2021 in September, 36-0-5. This is a Fighting Irish team. When they get that first goal, they don't relinquish to the very end. UNC trying to break that streak with 22 minutes left to play. And a great opportunity for the Tar Heels. Sam Williams, the junior midfielder. Williams sends it beyond the box. Low ball that Kelly deflects away. Kept alive here for UNC. Hilly trying to turn a corner, and by 4 stabs it out of bounds.
And that's what we were talking beforehand. Kelly knows when to make the right saves to keep his team with the determination that they're having right now, leading 1-0. But North Carolina is responding really well so far.
Williams has another corner go in, and it goes well over the crossbar. Off of Luke Hilly. NC State transfer. Kelly will play quick for the Fighting Irish. Matthew Rue back on the hunt. Ball that gets by Rube. That by 4 will try and track down, but can't get there quick enough. Sub will come on for UNC. Make a change. As the clock will stop here for Flanagan, who goes down to the ground. Flanagan will walk over to the bench. Green will come back onto the pitch for Notre Dame as Flanagan walks away.
It's a strategy that has really worked well for the Irish so far, you know, packing that midfield. Not a natural winger anymore with Flanagan, but now you got Bartlett, that's another midfielder. Green that likes to join the attack. Spicer as well on the pitch. It's just an overcrowded, in a way, midfield. It's been able, and crucial, to be honest, to keep the Irish right now with the minimal lead.
A play on call from Lucas Feathers, and now a whistle comes. We'll stop the clock. And a card should come, and it will. And will come against Bafour. by 4 will be awarded the second yellow card of the day.
KK before Amanda, as we talked before in the second half, has not only provided those attacking opportunities but also some support through the middle and both as well on the right to Josh Ramsey and Sebastian Green. On defense, now his defense a little too intense, gets him a yellow card and a great opportunity for the Tar Heels.
Costa for UNC got the first, and now free kick opportunity primed for an attack. And it's a bouncer that goes direct on goal that Kelly is able to push out beyond the goalpost, and now it's a corner for UNC.
And it's another corner kick for the Tar Heels. The Irish now being forced to, prove that concentration that we were talking about in the defense all throughout the first half, because the Tar Heels are going to push more, trying to get that draw.
Kelly on the corner comes up and grabs that out of the air. "45 minutes saw a very back and forth play in the first half. It was very much the same to the second. There was a penalty kick taken away. And then the Irish used that momentum to find the first goal. UNC now playing with pace, playing with the knowledge of time.
And when your opponent is attacking as UNC has been attacking throughout the last few minutes, that also, leaves you more opportunities to get some spaces. Spaces that Rune knows really well how to attack, knows how to get in behind those defenders. Even when they were concentrated in the first half, why not try and find a second one? And also, the Irish have had some great opportunities to find those spaces coming in from the bench with players like Stevie Dunphy.
Great play here from Hansen trying to turn a corner, and it'll be a corner kick.
Bartlett making the move here. Bartlett right now playing perhaps as the left back with Green being more of a midfielder. Both players have really transitioned and shifted that left back position throughout different stages of the season. Green had an injury at some point of the season, and it's now Bartlett the one who is the left back.
Low striking corner, headed up and away. Low roller up to the far side. Rue steps away before forward pass can move. Now Hansen trying to get it around. What a great play by Bartlett to go to the turf on an island by himself. Long throw in. Jones loses it, and it's a goal kick for the Fighting Irish.
It's only the fourth game in which Milton Jones sees some minutes for the Tar Heels this season. Nevertheless, a player with lots of potential. Also, potential that we've seen in Berto Hansen trying to have that one-on-one against Bartlett, precisely 13 against 16. Both of them having some great attacking and defensive display on the right side of the pitch so far.
But now switches sides of the field. Long ball that's broken up. UNC with room to run. Jones now brings it back. Vitchian heads it forward to Williams. Jones back forward, trying to sneak through. Miscommunication between Jones and Vitchian, whose ball that was, and trickles out of bounds. Fighting Irish have possession now with Rue. Into the feet of Green. Hanson picks it up when whistle comes. The aggressive move by Sebastian Green. I'll stop the clock for subs.
Substitution for Notre Dame, entering the pitch, number 3,
Sean McDowd will come onto the pitch in replace of Nolan Spicer, freshman defender from Lake Oswego, Oregon.
Notre Dame started the match with a 4-5-1. They're now in a 5-4-1 position formation, with Shane McDowd joining Ferguson and Ramsey as an extra center back.
They're looking to park the bus here a little bit and sit back on the defense.
Potentially, because you know that North Carolina, is attacking more. But nevertheless, with a 5-4-1 and that midfield being led by players like Before and Green, you also get some opportunities to have wingers that can create attacking chances through a counter-attack.
Notre Dame trying to sneak forward. Ball that is picked off by UNC. Fans starting to get into it. And a tug of the jersey. And a card will come. The third yellow card will be given this time to Tate Johnson.
Those moments when you get an opportunity to stop any potential attack when you are trailing by one are so important. Now, Tate Johnson has to be careful. He has featured in 11 games this season, starting in 11. The only game he didn't feature was because he got a red card.
Notre Dame looking for deciding factor here. Sent into the box. Well played. Rue once more. Rue with a touch going up against Johnson. And Cortez is there to bring it into his chest. No. Wins it back for Notre Dame. Bell plays forward. And a great slide tackle from Thomas. Come in, the captain. Throw in from Bartlett. Goes back to Green, but Notre Dame retains the throw in. Notre Dame's defense playing all the way past midfield. Kelly well out of goal. Trying to capitalize on the opportunity in the attacking third. Now subs to come onto the pitch for UNC. It's Martin Mai, the freshman from Denmark. And replace of Vitchian, who goes to the bench.
And that's a lot of trust put into Martin Mai. You're replacing Vitchian, your leading goal scorer, being a freshman, only playing your 4th game, no goal scored yet. Similar position to Stevie Dunphy against Clemson. We'll see if that same route works for North Carolina.
Another yellow card given. Now the 4th yellow card of the day. McDowd was given the yellow card. And now Bafour and McDowd on the Notre Dame side have yellows, while Johnson and Acosta have yellows. UNC had thought that was going to be their throw-in. Instead goes Notre Dame's way, and under 11 minutes left to play. Fighting Irish going to milk some clock here. Show some gamesmanship. They have a 1-goal lead. Green trying to get by. Ramsey back. Great touch in the midfield by Genenbacher. A play on from Lucas Feathers as Bafour hits the turf. UNC trying to cross it. Free ball to Jones. Rue. Plays it back. Irish playing to all sides of the field. Bafour trying to use his speed to get back to the ball. A game of chicken. And finally, a whistle there with Thomas hitting the ground.
And it seemed to me that Thomas was thinking about staying on the floor, trying to challenge a potential video review for a second yellow card on before. Nevertheless, he knows the time is running out, so he gets up quickly and tries to keep play going when the clock continues reducing a few seconds as North Carolina makes a substitution.
In these fleeting moments, Irish trying to shore up the win. UNC fighting for a draw. It's just been a back and forth game, and it, like we touched upon, just one opportunity that Notre Dame was able to capitalize on. Throw in here for UNC. 7:40 left to go in this second half. Pressure's on for the Tar Heels. Notre Dame, these last 10 minutes, have really controlled the possession like they do here, trying to get it to Rue. Cortez will switch sides of the field and play it to check.
Let's go defense! Here we go!
Fans have stuck around here at Alumni Stadium to watch a full 90 minutes. Been treated to a great match between North Carolina and Notre Dame. One ball down, that UNC gets back to with Johnson. Centered, striking shot, that goes in! And UNC equalizes. It's 1-1. What a goal into the upper 90.
What a shot by Johnson. That's so important. I was telling you that the importance of getting shots when the game was being played in the midfield, even more important when your rival is determined to defend with only one goal of advantage. An outstanding shot by Johnson, nothing to do there by Kelly. The second goal for Johnson this season, and what a moment to have that goal.
Matthew Acosta gets a big goal and a big moment for UNC. His first goal of the season in the 84th minute. Tied ball game at 1 apiece. Just when the Fighting Irish could feel it, it's wiped away with a great shot from Matthew Acosta. Back to a 0-0 ball game. Costa had a yellow card given to him early. He's been aggressive with the shots outside the box, like you talked about, JJ. UNC is going to need to try and open themselves up for one, and they get one here. The Tar Heels playing fast. So is Notre Dame. Clock will stop here for a sub.
Substitution for North Carolina, entering the pitch, number 6,
Andres Cardenas comes onto the pitch. Hernandez tries to keep pushing forward. Bafour re-enters the conversation. Now under 5 minutes left to play. Long ball crossing sides of the field. Bafour now with a step. Has it intercepted by Cafaro.
Still 4 minutes to go. Anything can happen. You saw how, in a matter of seconds, North Carolina turned what seemed to be an Irish win into a draw so far. And you've also talked about, both teams are yet to draw this season. Well, that's in part because both of these teams are hungry teams that won that victory. We saw a draw already with SMU and Stanford. I don't think we're seeing a draw tonight, I'll tell you that. I don't know who's scoring, but I doubt we're seeing a goal when you've got two hungry teams in here.
It's the 14th meeting between North Carolina and Notre Dame. The Irish haven't beaten the Tar Heels since 2020. Tar Heels are looking to try and continue that streak here with a draw. Kelly, now position for a goal kick.
And if the score remains like this, it would be exactly what we talked with Coach Riley. Same score as last year.
1-1. Thought the two teams were eerily similar from their 2023 seasons. This time, not down in Chapel Hill, but rather here in South Bend. Bartlett hits the spin move, looking to get it to Green. Green working through a trio and bounces off bodies.
Come on, Inky! Keep it up, Iris! All the way, wide!
UNC and Williams makes a strong pass here. Check. Pushing for the Tar Heels. Crossing. Mai was there. Headed away by Genenbacher and by 4. Long ball once more. That trickles back into the feet of Czech. Bouncer. Under 90 seconds left to play. Ball into the box. And by 4. Long ball down. Pushed forward by Rue. That he continues on his press. Now a minute remaining.
Sorry. Let's go, Iris!
40 seconds left to go. Can either of these two teams find one last moment? Now we'll go against UNC with 17 seconds. They'll stop the clock with 14 to allow Notre Dame to set up for a free kick. And they'll send all bodies towards the box. Kelly will take it. Kelly with a striking shot that goes wide. And as the final seconds tick off, it'll be a draw between UNC and Notre Dame. What a great matchup that we saw today.
Both teams led the game for a moment. A draw is honestly the right result for me.